In a multiverse where heroism treads an uncertain path, an unprecedented clash among champions ensues. Amongst the divergence, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and She-Hulk converge. Their powers and convictions now propel them towards an unavoidable collision. The battlefield becomes a swirling vortex of webs, arcane energy, and seismic impact. An epic display of brains and brawn unfolds as their exceptional intellect and raw physical might intertwine. Will you rely on your mastery of the mystic arts, side with the web-slinging boy genius, or Hulk smash your way to victory?
Hey everybody, my name is Spencer, and in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about Unmatched Marvel Brains and Brawn from Restoration Games to help you decide if it's worthy of being added to your game collection. Also, we're giving away a copy of the game to one lucky viewer. Be sure you watch all the way to the end of the video to find out how to enter the giveaway. Brains and Brawn is the 5th and final Unmatched Marvel set. The Marvel sets, along with almost a dozen other Unmatched sets, pit anywhere from 2 to 4 players against each other in epic duels, which is actually the name of the game Unmatched was restored from by Restoration Games. In this particular set for 2 to 3 players, you'll fight either 1v1 or 1v1v1, as Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, or She-Hulk, on the single battlefield included, the Sanctum Sanctorum. Your goal is to knock out your opponents and/or be the last fighter standing. Each character has been designed to play thematically like their comic book counterparts, and you'll need to take that into consideration when crafting your strategy. How would She-Hulk berserk her way through the Sanctum Sanctorum in pursuit of Spider-Man? Should Doctor Strange cast spells from a distance to stay out of reach of Spidey's webs? Those are just some of the scenarios you'll experience as you play. The cards and character abilities really enable you to tap into your fighter's strengths and exploit your opponent's weaknesses. Alright, so let's talk about how that all plays out mechanically. This is a lightly asymmetrical game, meaning each fighter differs from the other in a few ways. First of all is their health total. While the goal is always the same, get your opponent's health down to 0, that value varies between characters. For example, Doctor Strange's starting health value is 14, Spider-Man's is 15, and She-Hulk's is 20. And all of that makes sense thematically. Something else you'll find is that Doctor Strange has a sidekick to help him out, Wong.
Wongers!
So if you choose to play as Doctor Strange, you have the advantage of controlling 2 characters on the battlefield, while your opponents only have 1. While Wong has his own health dial, only Strange's health matters when it comes to the victory condition, meaning that if you end up in an Infinity War situation and Strange gets dusted by a kick to the face from She-Hulk, Wong doesn't stick around to become Sorcerer Supreme. You just lose. Other attributes unique to each character are their special abilities, default movement value, and fighting style. Strange can perform ranged attacks within same colored zones on the board, while Spider-Man and She-Hulk must be adjacent to their opponents before they can land an attack. The final element of uniqueness to each character, and this is a big one, is their deck of cards. You'll use the cards in your deck to perform the majority of actions during the game. Attack, defend, attack or defend, and scheme. And each character has 30 cards specially designed to simulate their fighting styles and strategies. Now here's what that looks like in-game. On your turn, you take 2 actions. You can do your actions in any order and even repeat the same action. You shouldn't feel overwhelmed with choices because there are only 3 actions available. Maneuver, draw a card and move up to your fighter's movement value. Attack, choose an opponent and play an attack card. Or scheme, play a special action card and follow its instructions. While mechanically, playing a turn isn't a difficult concept here, the real challenge of this game is strategizing and playing to your fighter's strengths. This could be a determining factor for some. How much of your brains are you willing to commit to the game so that you can execute your brawn effectively? Another thing that you or someone you play with may face is the feeling that certain fighters are overpowered or underpowered. The game is called Unmatched, and the tagline is, "In battle there are no equals," but certain situations may arise where some fighters just feel unbeatable. Now, with as many sets that have been published so far, I don't doubt that the Restoration Games development team knows what they're doing when it comes to balancing the fighters. Strange has a sidekick, but he also has the lowest health value. She-Hulk has 20 health, but her move value is only 2 spaces. And Spider-Man's Spidey sense takes away the element of surprise from attackers, but actually, at the time, I couldn't really quite figure out a weakness for Spider-Man. I'm sure it's there, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Plus, there are 6 one-time use items distributed randomly on the battlefield that can be used to enhance attacks or as scheme actions. And any fighter can use these. So what it really comes down to is your ability and desire to play strategically. Now, compared to other miniatures and fighting or skirmish games like Star Wars Shatterpoint, Mythic Battles Pantheon, or Forbidden Stars, the barrier to entry here is actually very low. All you gotta do to get up to speed is look through your fighter's deck a few times and make sure you understand their special abilities. And whereas other miniature games require you to use measuring tools to determine range and line of sight, Unmatched simplifies this through the use of colored zones. Ranged attacks may only be done if the target is in the same zone. It makes sense on the battlefield, as Strange standing behind the column shouldn't be able to target She-Hulk on the second floor behind a table. The rulebook is relatively small, so you can learn and play multiple Unmatched sessions in the time it would take for you to learn and play Shatterpoint. Yes, this is a much smaller scale, but Unmatched will give you the same kind of feeling that those bigger fighting games will. The final thing I want to mention here is that you can mix and match any of the fighters from any of the Unmatched sets, and you can play on any of the battlefields. So if you want Spider-Man to fight against Robin Hood and his merry men in King Solomon's Mine, you can. Or if you want to set up somewhat of a tag team match between Doctor Strange and Wong versus Harry Houdini and Bess in the Yukon, you can do it. Combining sets also makes 4-player games possible, which are played out as 2v2 team matches. Secret phrase time! If you want bonus entries to our giveaway for the game, enter the secret phrase Wongers in the designated box on the giveaway form.
Wongers!
Watch to the end of the video for more specific details. So having said all of that, you should have a pretty good sense of who the target audience for Unmatched Brains and Brawn is. Marvel fans will instantly connect with it. The care Restoration Games took to accurately represent each comic book character is obvious, and comics veteran Joshua Sway Swaby even did the cover and She-Hulk illustrations. The publisher's suggested age range is 14 and up, but as I mentioned earlier, the only complexity lies in learning a strategy and becoming more familiar with each fighter's strengths. You could probably play with kids around age 7 or so, but you may just need to pull some punches occasionally and help them make good decisions. However, the biggest determining factor here is what type of gamer you or your intended opponents are. This is a conflict-heavy game through and through. The only way to win is to directly attack the other players. So this might not be the best fit for couples or anyone in a relationship with someone who takes attacks personally. Finally, before I wrap this video up, I want to break down the estimated time investment for Unmatched Brains and Brawn. You can expect to spend about 1.5 minutes setting up the game and about 7 to 8 minutes for a first-time rules explanation. While the basic mechanisms are pretty simple to explain, there are a few situational and character-specific rules you'll need to get into. As far as the rest of the game goes, playing time can vary pretty significantly. Even the box displays a 20 to 40 minute playtime. Depending on your strategy at any given moment, you may have a turn that takes 20 seconds or 3.5 minutes. So we'll just say an average of 1.5 to 2 minutes per turn. Total duration is up in the air as well, since it's completely dependent on the player's skill levels. If 3 players are all equally skilled in the game, it may take a while before they whittle down each other's health, but if at least 1 or 2 of those players are beginners, they'll be eliminated much sooner. Fortunately, the game can't go on indefinitely. The player deck of cards serves as an in-game timer of sorts. Discard piles don't get reshuffled, and if a player ever needs to draw a card and they can't, they're eliminated. Which is another layer of strategy, by the way. The number of players will impact the total time as well, but despite all of those variables, that 20 to 40 minute game duration is pretty accurate. Whatever the case, you can expect to spend no more than an hour of your time to set up, teach, play, and put away Unmatched Brains and Brawn. If you want a bite-sized battle game that's as thematic as it is strategic, Unmatched Brains and Brawn fits that bill. It's quick and easy to set up matches with your friends, and as an added bonus, there's no assembly involved with the minis, and they're excellent subjects for painting. If this sounds like a perfect game for you, you can find it and many other Unmatched Marvel sets over at GameNerds.com. And now we've come to the giveaway details. To enter to win a free copy of Unmatched Brains and Brawn, simply click the link in the description of this video. There are multiple ways to gain entries, including the secret phrase that I shared somewhere in the middle of this video. We'll draw a winner in 2 weeks and contact them very shortly after. If you found this video helpful in making a purchasing decision, please give it a like, and hey, subscribe to the channel for more tabletop gaming content, like this, or this video down here. Also, feel free to leave me a comment if you have any questions about Unmatched, or tell me what you think an epic matchup could be. Once again, my name is Spencer, and I want to thank you so much for watching.